Hey, Jim Hoffman for EMS Office Hours, and this is your Monday Minutes. You know, with the recent explosion in Texas and the bombings in Boston, I thought just a quick sort of reminder, guys, on us and how we respond to these types of incidents. Of course, the first thing when we talk about responding to explosive incidents is staying safe. I'm going to talk about a few different types of incidents that we actually will respond to. But of course, guys, safety is the utmost importance, and it doesn't matter which one of the ones I'm talking about today you respond to, your safety has to be paramount. If we become injured or killed, we're no longer part of the solution. We end up becoming part of the problem, right? So one of the explosive incidents we might see is like pre-blast sort of incidents, right? Now this is most likely the type of thing where it's already reported to the dispatcher. We kind of know we're going to a bomb threat or something like that, and we get sent to the scene, usually staged away somewhere, and you get perimeters get established, and it depends upon the type of threat and who's in control and how far away you end up being staged. Okay, there's actually a distance table that is out there that is used by the ATF that kind of dictates how far away we get sent, and as far as the perimeters go, based upon the threat. Okay, and after we get that perimeter done, and we have that safety sort of in mind, then we start talking about searching and evacuation of people within the area where the blast might actually end up happening. Okay, now the next one is a post blast. Now this is the type of thing where our reactions are going to depend upon the destruction that gets caused by the blast. Okay, which actually caused by that explosion. Now, of course, one of the most important decisions is going to be getting that perimeter set up, right? That hot zone, okay? That inner zone, you might call it, right? And after we get that perimeter set up, then we have to talk about getting victims, triaging them, treating them, transporting them, okay? And you're going to talk about things, with explosions, where you might have to have collapsed building rescues, things where you have fires that might be started from a utility line, like live electrical wires or punctured gas lines, right? All types of things like that can cause additional hazards, and we have to keep that in mind. All right, so just remember, guys, in a post-blast incident type thing where we respond to, don't rush in. Try to assess the incident before, okay, we actually get into the area, okay? And remember, guys, things like the fires that I talked about, the down electrical lines, the gas lines, that is for people who have proper training on dealing with those hazards, okay? So, don't try to tackle those hazards if you're not properly trained. And training is one thing, and remember, you've got to have the equipment to go ahead and deal with it as well, okay? Now, you've got the continuing incident, and this is sort of a difficult management. It's hard to deal with this sort of explosive incident. This type of thing, you think of something like Columbine, where you had active shooters and you had explosive devices present as well, right? So that's sort of that continuing incident. It's sort of ongoing. You've got active shooters, or you have people who are detonating things, okay? Again, this is sort of a difficult sort of explosive incident to sort of manage and respond to, okay? And again, your training, your equipment, and what your role is on the scene is going to dictate how you're responding to these types of incidents. All right. Now, the last one here is the multiple devices, and this is something I think that is important. I think especially for us as EMS providers, guys, because we have to sort of nowadays in this atmosphere of terror attacks and homegrown terrorists and things like that, we have to anticipate multiple devices when we respond to any of the incidents I just mentioned, right? multiple devices get placed, and they're placed specifically to target individuals like EMS providers, like police, like fire, okay, in order to sort of generate as much chaos and confusion and fear even among providers, okay. That's their, sort of their goal, right? So anticipate multiple devices, guys. You think about, I think it was 1997, you had the bombing of the abortion clinic, right? The family planning clinic in Sandy Springs, right? And that's the type of thing where they had multiple targets, right? Multiple devices, and ended up hurting more than just the initial people. Okay, so think about those secondary devices, guys. Last night on the live podcast, Josh and I both talked about the bombings in Boston. We talked about the Texas explosions, and we talked a lot about provider safety. And we all know that when the chips are down, a lot of us will rush in to help people. And I'm guilty as that just as much as I think Josh is, and many of us who do that. And we don't always anticipate these multiple devices, guys. But I think it is important to, at the minimum, keep it in the front of your head when you respond to these sort of incidents, guys, because the danger is there. It's ever increasing, and we have to keep that in mind. So, that's pretty much the basic thing I wanted to go into today, guys. These types of awareness for WMD and explosions and things like that are much, much larger courses, and you can go ahead and check them out, online. FEMA has a course on it. I believe it's free. You can take it online, and you can get some great information, some great training in this if you haven't already. Okay, and really sort of make you aware of what to expect and what to be sort of looked out for when it comes to explosives devices, IEDs, things like that, as an EMS provider. Okay, because we have to maintain our safety, guys. Listen, if you want to go ahead and check out some MCI Response webinars, I have this one that we did a little while ago. Greg Fries and I did this on MCI Response for EMS providers. And Greg presented this, and this is really something that was on the inner workings of an MCI response, how it goes beyond the framework of just that initial ICS training that you might get, okay? Greg goes into a little bit about MCI and the focus on various aspects, and he tries to give you, as being the provider, trying to help you more understand, okay, the acronym ACT when you're faced with a mass casualty incident. So these are some of the key elements here, guys. You can just read on down here. I'm going to put a link to this webcast in the show notes, so you can go ahead and check it out, take advantage of it. This was a recorded video. You can go watch the video, download the audio. Greg also gave some downloads that can help you as well when it comes to MCI response. So go check that out. I think it can really help you and maybe bring together some more of the MCI response. And it's something I think is increasing for us as providers, that we keep increasing the amount of exposures we have to mass casualty incidents. Okay, so training is key, guys. All right, so that's it for today's Monday Minutes. Be sure to go check out EMS Office Hours, guys. Listen to some of the podcasts there, read some of the blog posts, comment for me, like it, share it, tweet it, whatever you feel is appropriate. I want to hear your comments on what we're doing here, okay? So that's it for me, guys. As always, Jim Hoffman for EMS Office Hours and Monday Minutes.